Hey guys, welcome to episode 66 of OG Toys Emoji. Today we're doing another movie review. I've had a lot of requests for me to review The Dark Knight Rises, so I thought, alright, let's do it again. As you remember, I did the Amazing Spider-Man movie review with spoilers, and I made another video without spoilers. And obviously from the views we got almost 800 more views on the one with spoilers. So, you guys definitely like to be spoiled. So this review will just be spoilers. I'll give you my general opinion of the movie, some cool highlights, and of course I'm going to tell you what happens at the end of this movie, which shocked a lot of people. So, without any further ado, I'll give you my review and opinion of Batman The Dark Knight Rises. So, supposedly this is the final movie from Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan. This is a trilogy. Now, it does start off a little different. You're looking about 8 years after The Dark Knight movie. So, pretty much all crime has been eliminated out of Gotham. They have passed the Harvey Dent law, which really just prosecutes the hell out of criminals, and it's just cleaned up Gotham. So supposedly, Gotham's a pretty clean city now and doesn't need Batman anymore. So when we do see Batman, Batman's a bit of a eccentric recluse billionaire who's tied up in a West Wing or something like that of the Wayne Manor and really doesn't go out anymore. He's got a shaggy beard, long hair, he's wearing a house robe all the time, and he's beat up bad. His body is really taking its toll. All the crime fighting, he's walking around with a cane, he has a limp, and it just reminded me when I saw that scene of Batman Beyond. The first episode where we see Batman, who's definitely older, still trying to go out and fight crime, and you realize he can't do it anymore. And it's time for another person to take the mantle of Batman. So, that's the only comparison I'm going to say right there. There is that bit of Batman ages. You know, our superheroes that we think are ageless, immortal, actually do age just like you and me. So it was kind of a weird scene, but the movie does pick up with some actually really cool action scenes. We introduced to Catwoman, who is played by Anne Hathaway, and I think she did a great job capturing the essence of Catwoman. Kind of very coy, you know, very much for herself only, but you do see that she does have a heart and she does actually care. So we do get introduced to Bane in a very epic Christopher Nolan way. All of his movies have some grand opening, just like The Dark Knight had that really cool bank heist. This one starts with a crazy, no CGI, pretty much a rescue of Bane, who basically got captured but it was all set up to capture this professor, and they're launching cables onto a plane, ripping the wings off. It was spectacular. It really sets the tone for the movie, and we're introduced to Bane. Now, the entire movie is acted just fantastically. They do such great performances. The directing, it's got a great pace. The only bad thing that really kind of stuck a nerve with me and a lot of people watching the movie was Bane. Physically, he's imposing. I actually thought he looked cool. Not having the luchador mask, he just has that muzzle on his face. But his voice was very annoying. First, you could barely hear it. It was rather muffled, and I know they did a lot of work in post-production to make him more audible, but it needed a bit more work. He sounded almost like Darth Vader with this heavy breathing, and he sounded like he has this very strange accent. And the way his mannerisms are, it was odd. I picture and see Bane very differently, and his voice especially. But to say the rest, Bane really was an imposing villain for Batman, and he really did things that the Joker couldn't. He did things that Ra's al Ghul couldn't, and he actually decimated Gotham. He turned Gotham into a wasteland. He controls the city, and it's up to Batman to rise up and defeat him. So we're seeing a hobbled Batman, a crazy-looking Bruce Wayne, and basically he has to get himself together to fight this tyranny that's taken over Gotham. Throughout the course of the movie, we're introduced to somebody named John Blake, Detective John Blake. A lot of people are wondering, who is this guy? Who's he going to be? Well, I'm going to save that for a little bit longer. You're going to have to wait to know who he is. But the action throughout the movie is phenomenal. It is very intense action scenes. There's one scene in particular that really stood out, and it just punctuated that Batman should maybe hang up the mantle. And that was when he fought Bane. and Bane just utterly destroys Batman. It's kind of tough to see it, and a lot of people were kind of squeamish because it's pretty brutal. And Batman just gets the crap kicked out of him, and the classic Bane smashing Batman over his knee, breaking his back does happen, and Batman is essentially put into this prison where Bane rose from, was born, and it's a really intense little bit of a movie. Now the movie is long; it's almost 3 hours long, and we caught this at the midnight premiere, so it was definitely a long movie. And I'll just share some more thoughts. I mean, the movie itself has been getting very good reviews. Some of the reviews have been a bit negative, saying that the Dark Knight was a lot better movie. I think this is a really good conclusion. If this is going to be the last movie, it ties up so many loose ends. It just gives you a good closure to the Batman mythos by Christopher Nolan. Now, the movie ends with some interesting plot points. Batman dies. Yes, Batman and Bruce Wayne sacrifice himself to save Gotham from this nuclear fusion bomb that Bane has let loose on Gotham City. And it's really sad. It's something like out of Justice League cartoon. And at one point, the city is just so taken over by Bane. They got tumblers running around Gotham City that he controls. You think, man, how the hell is Batman going to get through this? And you think, Justice League. It would be almost epic to see Superman or Flash run through. Of course, they're not in the movie. But it is very down. It's very tough to see Gotham just utterly controlled by Bane. But Batman does rise. He does come back. He is triumphant. He does finally take down Bane. There is another secret appearance, a special cameo by Ra's al Ghul, who makes a bit of a vision, comes across Bruce Wayne in a vision when he's in this prison trying to rehabilitate himself and get back to Gotham to save it. And he's gone for a long time, almost 5 months of his life is occupied in this prison trying to rehabilitate and climb out of it. It has some really cool metaphors, some cool foreshadowing what's going to happen, and it tells an interesting story about Bane, how his relationship with Ra's al Ghul, and with another surprise character, Talia. Talia is a character in the movie. You think that she's actually a friend of Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne actually goes to bed with this woman. And for a second I thought, whoa, is Damian going to come out of this? But unfortunately, Talia dies at the end of the movie. Now I said I am going to give you a lot of spoilers, so some of this stuff was pretty shocking. Now, at the end of the movie, Batman, Bruce Wayne are dead. Or so we think. They do have a funeral for him. Commissioner Gordon's there, Alfred, John Blake. But throughout the movie, Alfred and Bruce have a falling out. And he always pictured Bruce Wayne having a different life than what he has in Gotham City. He pictures him, disappearing, and maybe he runs into him in a cafe in Paris with a family, and they just acknowledge each other. And that actually was pretty tearjerker when you see Alfred crying at Bruce Wayne's cemetery's gravesite. So we see the movie kind of fade off. The crowd was quite silent. A lot of people were pretty choked up about what happened, but you do see Alfred months and months, possibly years later, in Paris at a cafe sitting down. And he does make eye contact with someone, and it's Bruce. So Bruce does manage to survive. He sets this amazing vehicle called a Bat, very reminiscent to what Batman Beyond has in the animated series, this flying bat contraption. It's just kick-ass. So you do see him there in this cafe with Selina Kyle. So they hook up, and Batman, Bruce Wayne are gone, and they start a new life together. Now, who takes up the mantle? Well, this is what a lot of the fans were just going nuts about. Jonathan Blake. John Blake, who's actually, his real name is Robin. That's his first name. He goes to the funeral of Batman, and he goes to the Wayne Enterprises office, and he gets a package there. And it's addressed under his real name, which is Robin. Now, everyone's freaking out. Robin, holy. So he goes, this package has blueprints to Wayne Manor and the Batcave. So you're seeing this guy go into the Batcave through the waterfall, and you see him, and this is his legacy. He will take up the mantle of Batman. It's not just one person. It's not Bruce Wayne who's Batman. Batman can be anybody who can uphold the values of justice, righting the wrong, and protecting the innocent. It's pretty cool the way they set it up. You see him, he's realizing he's in the Batcave, and you see the costume, the chamber that holds Batman's costume, rise out of the water as he's walking up to it. And unfortunately, that's the way the movie ends. So it leads you to think, man, are they going to do another Batman without Bruce Wayne? But Christopher Nolan has said this is his last Batman movie. And if that's the way it's going to end, it ends off really well. It wraps up everything, and the movie was just phenomenal. I cannot wait to see it again. I highly recommend you see this movie. You know, I think if you go in with a bit of an open mind, and don't try and compare it to Heath Ledger's Joker, because Bane is completely different. He is one scary guy, and he did do what Joker couldn't, Ra's al Ghul couldn't, and that is effectively break the bat, take over Gotham. But of course, Batman does rise, like the title says, Dark Knight Rises, and it's an absolute fitting ending to the trilogy. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Go enjoy the movie, and stay tuned for more reviews. Take care.